Let's practice a straddle stretch today. A straddle stretch or a V-leg stretch, which is basically with the legs out to the side and you're stretching forward. This particular stretch works on the inner muscles, on the adductor muscles, which basically come attached below the knee and they go all the way up to the groin. Very tight area on many people, especially a lot of boys. And I highly recommend working on this regularly so you have some good functional movement in the area. When you're doing this particular stretch, I also recommend that you start with hip openers, such as the butterfly stretch, right, or things of the sort. And once you've started from this position, or once you've already established this position and that your body's nice and open, then it's pretty appropriate to go into another position. So, starting from my butterfly stretch, getting my body forward, getting my chest up, and rocking my weight forward. I'm going to start out by putting my hands right on my shins and then gently pressing down onto the tops of the thighs and lifting up the chest, right? Looking up. Remember that looking up lengthens out the spine and it opens the hips up. We're not crouching down. That doesn't help, right? Looking up. Opening up, right? Opening up the legs. Now, I'm just doing that enough to get some space inside of the hips before I go to my next position. Because you can just jump into the split, but it's a step by step is a lot safer for you. It's much safer for you. You don't want to do anything too deep and then hurt yourself or even tear a muscle when you're stretching, because that's working against what you're actually trying to do. So we have opening up with a butterfly, and then from here, after I'm comfortable, I'm going to open my feet up to the side. Now, you got to make sure you're on your sit bones. Right? My feet are flat. I'm going to hold onto my ankles. Now, after holding onto the ankles, dropping the elbows down. Okay, and now from here, pulling forward. See that? Pulling forward and lifting the chest up. Right? And doing that opens up the hips even more. Okay. Or I can even grab underneath and inside and do the exact same thing. I can actually go a little deeper like this as long as you can manage it. And you could be here. Your legs could be really narrow. That's fine. What's important is I'm coming forward. Right? So if you see this in a side view, I'm coming forward. Right? Like that's hard. And a lot of people are going to feel like they're rocked back and they can't get too far forward. That's okay. It's step by step, and I'll give you a tip to get over that and to get a little further. Right, so here I am holding on, rocking forward, or the other side, rocking forward. Now, after I'm comfortable enough and I did that for enough time, I'm going to bring my hands back up and then straighten out the legs. And you see, this is not too far. It's not too far. I'm not going for like this huge, crazy looking gymnastic split. I'm just keeping the legs straight so I can work on rocking my way forward. So I'm still on the sit bones. My hands are on top of the legs, or if I can't do that, if that's too hard, I'm going to take my hands and put them behind my back. And put them behind my back or on the fingertips, and have the hands up to the hips and let my body come forward. Okay? And while I'm here, no matter how far I am, I'm going to try to lift the chest up. Okay? And I'm just going to rock around. I'm going to circle my body around a little bit. One side to the other. And go the other way, right? Or if I'm holding onto the legs, it's the same idea, right? Circling around. So I can get all the muscle groups, get all the parts of the joints. And now I'm going to stop and come to the center, keeping the chest up, chin forward. It's going to look from one side to the other. And as I'm rocking, I'm going to make sure my sit bones are on the floor. And you can tell, see, as I'm rocking, see that space there? I know my sit bones are on the floor. That'll keep the sit bones on the floor. You're going to look, right? Turn. Bring your chest to your toes. Turn, bring the chest to the toes. Bring the chest to the toes. Okay? And now, I'm going to grab one leg and gently tug my body so the chest comes to the toes. If that's hard to grab, I can grab my foot, my leg. You can put your hands on the floor too, that's fine. I'm going to hold that position. I'll try to hold it for anywhere from 10 seconds, 30 seconds. 30 seconds is the best, or more. And let's do the same thing to the other side. Chest, center of chest, all the way to the toes. And then I can come back to the center. And now from this position, I could say, oh great, I stretched my adductors, I can stop. Or You can choose to go a little bit further. So I'm going to go a little bit further and put one hand in front, hand behind, and scoot my body. Scoot my body so I'm a little bit wider. Just get back and make sure you can see. Right. And from here, pull those toes back if you can. And I'm going to find a good hand position. Either hands behind, like before in the support position, on the thighs or in front. And then I'm going to practice looking up and then straightening out. Looking up, and then I'll even rock down, bring the chin down. Right. Look up, and you can really see by doing this, see what's happening? There's this big, nice roll in the hips. Nice roll in the hips. Okay, and then when I'm ready, take a nice breath in, and then let your body roll forward. Right, to however far, it doesn't matter how far you go. But the point is that the stomach, right, the stomach comes forward first. So you want the stomach down, right? Stomach down first, chest and arms. Now, it's not important that you go that far, but I'm just trying to display the fact that, you know, I can put my head down, but there's all this space in my hips that's not stretching at all, so there's no point in doing that. You're better off not going that far, but just looking up and really feeling that stretch in the hips, because what's happening is you're stretching your adductors, or even stretching your hamstrings a little bit. One tip you can do to take some pressure off is to let the feet relax. That'll take a little pressure off. It takes a little pull off of the adductors and the hamstrings that way. Another tip is if you just feel like you're having a hard time, use your old beat up phone book or a cushion, a pillow, or some kind of elevation. You can even do this on a chair if you're really inflexible. Grab a seat right under here, and you can do all of your stretches, and you'll find it's remarkably easier. It's remarkably easier. See, I'm just going through each stretch as I did before. Right. Here I am. Right. You can go through each stretch as you did before. A little more challenging, scooting yourself forward on the phone book. And then do all of your motions all over again. Now I just picked one phone book. I could do 2 or 3 or even more, and then slowly take each of the phone books away or books away or whatever it is until I can get to the floor and have a really nice stretch. And remember, the key is to be gradual. Best to warm up before you do the stretch, and be consistent. Be consistent. Once a week, you'll feel some results, but probably you want to do this at least every other day. At least every other day, especially if you're really tight. And even just doing it for a few minutes, you'll feel some really good results.